Coming up in this edition of 15 News, a boy and a bear come to the Southfield Public Library for a big celebration. Southfield kids are given the chance to be a meteorologist for a day. We'll have all this and much more on this weekly edition of 15 News. It's been a long and interesting journey for the boy and bear statue. Originally created by artist Marshall Fredericks, it had enjoyed decades at the former Northland Mall location before being placed in storage upon the mall's closure. It now finds its final place inside the rotunda of the Southfield Public Library. While it took a full day to transport the statue from its place in storage to the library, various city leaders felt that it was well worth the planning and hard work.
Last year when the news came out that Northland Mall was going to close, there was a very short window of time during which we found out that there were 11 artworks that were going to go up for bid, for auction. There was a real concern on some of the folks that are historically minded around here that if these leave, we might never see them back in Southfield again. The point that we wanted to make was these are public works. They should be part of this public history of Southfield. There were some private individuals who might have wanted to purchase certain pieces, but we didn't want them to leave the public arena. Tonight's event is a private unveiling for those who have donated to help repay the funds that were used to purchase the artworks. But I'm very proud to say that more than half the money indeed has been raised. And I think it's a great night. It's a great way for the city to say thank you to those folks who have stepped up and said, I'm going to give some money. The Arts Commission, which is all made up of volunteers, got together and said, what could we do to thank people for donating money?
Crowdfunding donors who contributed $50 or more were invited to a private unveiling of the boy and bear statue. The donations also went towards establishing a permanent fund for youth art programming, support for local artists, and creating cultural opportunities in the city.
One of the missions of the Southfield Public Arts Commission is to enrich Southfield vitality as well as its artistic expression. Southfield is a very diverse community, and the artwork should be reflective of that. And we had the opportunity of obtaining this iconic piece meant so much to not only the Arts Commission, but the Metropolitan as well as Southfield community.
I find the idea of libraries bringing artworks in is a chance to help people's imagination soar. It's a chance for kids who may not get to go to museums to have something in their community that they can look at and see, maybe I could do that. The Boy and the Bear, it's going to add a tremendous amount because we've got some very, very historical type pieces. This is going to be historical, but in a more whimsical way. It's going to welcome kids, just as it welcomed kids to Northland.
4, 3, 2, 1.
We see them in action every morning or evening as they forecast the future, or at least tell us how likely it is to rain. They're meteorologists, and they do a lot more than what you see on camera. They conduct weather research, study the atmosphere and environmental changes, so that we can make wise and informed travel and commuting choices. This field of study is particularly relevant in the Michigan area due to the region's penchant for wide, varied, and unpredictable weather patterns. Recognizing meteorology as an important career path, the City of Southfield recently teamed up with the Young Meteorologist Program in collaboration with Click on Detroit, WDIV Local 4, to help inspire an interest in weather forecasting.
I think to come out and see the emergency management teams, the fire departments, the police officers, to see the men and women in uniform is very exciting for the kids, and then to see Owly from the National Weather Service and to meet some of the meteorologists that are on television. I think it's a good way for the kids to connect the jobs to the weather and sort of bring together the importance of what the emergency management teams are doing, how we as broadcast meteorologists get the word out, and the National Weather Service to feed that information to us. It's a connection, it's a network, and I think the kids can come out here and see it from the men and women who do it.
Various interactive activities, presentations by weather professionals, and hands-on weather forecasts were held at the Southfield Public Library. Young participants learned about emergency preparedness and safety procedures during an environmental emergency, along with participating in numerous weather experiments. To learn more about the Young Meteorologist Program or to participate in online kids activities, visit youngmeteorologist.org. With its extensive network of roads and highways, minus a public transit system on par with other big cities such as New York, Los Angeles, or Washington, D.C., having dependable transportation in the Metro Detroit area can be crucial to area families who are juggling careers, getting children to and from school on time, and running daily errands. Costly vehicle maintenance can put a strain both financially and physically on families who are trying to manage the hustle and bustle of everyday running around. However, Tone Up for Tune-Ups, a local nonprofit organization, has emerged to give a helping hand to area families by funding vehicle repairs while promoting physical fitness. The Tone Up for Tune-Ups race consists of a 5K and a 1-mile family fun walk and recently took place at the Covenant Presbyterian Church. Included with the race were healthy treats, a raffle, and a chance to network and develop connections with other runners while helping a family in need of car repairs. To learn more about Tone Up for Tune-Ups or how you can help, visit toneupfortuneups.com. The next family fitness activity coming up in Southfield is the popular Summer Solstice 5K, 10K, and Family Fun Walk. This race is an excellent opportunity to get some much-needed sunshine and fitness while helping out the community. If you haven't started training for them yet, there are local organizations such as Good Form Running and Run Detroit that have the perfect training regimen to fit everyone's needs. If you like walking or running in an urban environment where you can enjoy the sight of historical buildings, Run Detroit may be the right choice for you. Their runs take place at Detroit's Eastern Market 2 to 3 times a week. Their main goal is to get people off the couch and get moving while aiming to finish a 5K race during the spring or summer.
Run Detroit is a run specialty shop. So we are a retail store that has anything and everything you could possibly need for running and many things you didn't even know that you needed. And then with that, we also have a lot of programming that goes into it. So we have a very active Saturday running group. And then twice a year, we do a Beginners 101 program just to help introduce people to the sport. We heard a lot of people saying, oh, I don't run, let me get in shape first, and then I would come do a group run. So what we wanted to do is take all of the excuses or barriers that we hear and find a solution for them. So we've created a program that is very open and welcoming and encouraging, and it's beginners specific. So you don't have marathoners running circles around you. It's really just beginners working with beginners to help you get to the finish line of your very first 5K. Effort is going to be very individual. Some of us are going to excel just a little bit faster than others, so we really try to tiptoe around having some sort of goal or expectation for the individual. Everybody's going to come with their own goal, and that's what we want to do, is help you reach that. On graduation day, some people are going to run for 35 minutes and they're going to cross the finish line running the whole time. Some folks are going to do a walk jog, and we might do 5 minutes of jogging and 2 minutes of walking. And somebody else might be doing 7 and 2. So the individual results are going to vary, but the expectation is to get you across the finish line with a smile on your face and feeling like you accomplished something. Just get out there. go around the block once. That's all you got to do. Lace up any shoe that you have in the closet, make a block around, one lap around the block. And then if you can do that with a partner, now you've got somebody to help share in the highs and the lows, and you've got accountability. You know that so-and-so is going to be there. It doesn't matter what the weather is. It could be windy and cold like today, and then your partner's waiting for you.
If you're looking for something a little more challenging but need help correcting your stride, Good Form running events take place all over the Metro Detroit area. Recently, at an event GFM held at Fast Training located in Troy, Michigan, they focused on how to perfect posture, stance, and leg and arm movements to prevent injuries while running or walking.
So Good Form Running is basically a simplified running mechanics course, and we do it for free at all three of our area locations at New Balance Utica, New Balance Troy, and Farmington Hills. The object is to simplify how to run with good technique using basically 3 simple points that we teach, and to keep that work list more direct, more simple to follow so that you can have success quickly. I think in a lot of running programs, what people focus on first is how much do I need to walk or run, so the duration or the distance. Something that we find is just not often talked about enough is, am I performing those movements correctly? And although we can all walk and run, at least we assume that, sometimes the way that we move is leading to injuries or setbacks, again, diminished performance. So what Good Form Running looks at is how to fix those things so that you're more successful, avoiding injury, being more efficient with your movement, and ultimately just enjoying it more. The clinic that we're doing today with the folks at FAST, Functional Athletic Sequence Training, is really taking what happens with Good Form Running to the next level, with specifically looking at exercise that's going to help complement your performance. And that might be, again, dealing with an old injury. You're like, gosh, I'm not sure if I can do this because I've had a lot of knee history. So what specifically can we learn about that through proper assessment and then the exercise that prepares the body for success?
If you prefer to train on your own, Southfield has wonderful parks, nature trails, and walkways for your enjoyment. But remember, consult your doctor before you start any physical activity or training program. For information about Good Form Running, visit goodformrunning.com. To learn more about Run Detroit, visit run-detroit.com. And to learn more about the Summer Solstice race, visit southfieldsummersolstice.com. The results are in for the soil that was tested at the site of a 70-year-old oil well that had been capped off due to its inability to produce oil. As we had mentioned in an earlier story, testing that had been done by the DEQ in the city of Southfield proved that there were no signs of petroleum or contaminants in the soil surrounding the well. As of now, the oil well has been recapped and cemented, and the surrounding area was replaced with fresh soil and grass seed. Dealing with cancer and going through treatment is already a difficult process. But some patients are dealing with an extra problem, getting to appointments to receive potentially life-saving treatment. But through the American Cancer Society's Road to Recovery program, kind-hearted volunteers are hitting the road to provide free rides to cancer patients who need help getting to and from cancer treatment centers.
The Road to Recovery program is an American Cancer Society free transportation program for cancer patients during their treatments. It is really run by volunteer drivers who drive the patients to and from their life-saving treatments. And people call us for a number of reasons. A lot of times patients have one vehicle and their spouse or someone living in the household has to take that to work, and they call us because they need a ride to treatment. Sometimes they live alone and they simply can't drive themselves because they're feeling too ill. So we match them up with a volunteer driver, and the volunteer driver picks them up at home, takes them to their treatment, and then takes them home when they're finished. We will transport patients to any appointment that is related to their cancer diagnosis. So even if it's a follow-up appointment a year later, if it's related to their cancer diagnosis, then we're happy to transport them. We are looking for new drivers because while Road to Recovery is doing wonderful work, we provided over 2,300 rides in Metro Detroit last year, we were only able to fulfill about 50% of the rides that were requested to us. Specifically in Wayne County, we were only able to fulfill 37% of the patient rides, and we want to be able to fulfill 100% of those rides, but we can't do that without volunteer drivers. So we're really looking for new drivers that are able to help us, whether it's one day a week or one day a month. It's any ride is a life-saving ride.
While the rides fill a vital need for cancer patients, it also offers another invaluable component to their treatment: friendship and moral support.
It's been kind of a fantastic experience. I've met a lot of nice people. When I first started the program, I was kind of wondering, what are you going to talk about? You know, you're cooped up in a car, and when the people get into the car, it's like I'm a new face, I'm new ears, and there's no problem with conversation. Sometimes I've heard more than I wanted to know. But I've met some real nice people, a couple I still keep in contact with, and it's been a great experience.
It's very important for people to have reliable transportation because, of course, their appointments are at certain times and the doctors choose these times according to what kind of cancer they have and what they need. So to have someone that you can count on is really, a great thing. But it's just nice to know that next Friday I've got a ride, I can relax, I can do whatever I have to do in order to be ready for it. And I'm going to be with this understanding, dedicated person who appreciates what I'm going through and, is giving of their time to help me. So that's really one of the great things about the program.
To learn more about the Road to Recovery program or to find out how you can volunteer as a driver, visit cancer.org. The sounds of your sump pump humming is as common as the rain showers that fall during the spring season. While the pump helps to prevent flooding by pumping water out of your house, what happens when your regular 120-volt sump pump stops working? A few Southfield residents recently noticed their water bill was extremely high, some totaling $2,000. The culprit? A malfunctioning water-powered backup sump pump. What should residents do if and when their sump pump malfunctions? The city's water and sewer department recommends a professional sump pump certified plumber replace the water-powered sump pump with a 12-volt battery backup pump. Why is this so important? Because without the replacement, residents risk increased water and sewer bills and contaminated drinking water. For more information about sump pumps, or if you have concerns about your water bill, contact the Southfield Water and Sewer Department at area code 248-796-4850. That brings us to the end of the 15 News Weekly Edition. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube by searching for Southfield Multimedia Services. Thank you for watching, and see you next week.
Hi, my name's Gina and this is Fred. We're here at Almost Home Animal Shelter in Southfield, Michigan. Fred is a 1-year-old Staffy mix. He's up to date in all of his shots and he's very loving with people. He would do best in the home with older adults and as the only pet. This is Halo. She's a 1-year-old American Staffy mix. She's up to date in all of her shots. She would do best in at home with adults only or older teenagers. She loves to play and she's very calm and loving when it's time to play. This is Roger. He's a 4-year-old American Staffy. He's up to date in all of his shots. He needs to be the only dog in the household. He also would do best in a home with older kids or adults only. This is Wilma. She's a 1-year-old American Staffy. She would do best as the only pet in the household. She's up to date in all of her shots and she's very loving with people. She would do great in a home with older kids as well. For more information on Wilma or any other animals here at Almost Home, please visit our website or give us a call. Thanks.